when you guys transitioned out of the 9-to-5 world into real estate, basically full time, what were some of the I would say growing pains that you might have went through? Obviously, you got wins, but when you transition into doing something full time too, you bump your head a couple of times. You kind of learn.
experience.
Like I always call that first year when you're self-employed. I call it the rookie year. You know. So kind of what did you guys go through your rookie year? If you want to be you can be as transparent as you want. Something you don't want to, it's up to you.
I think mine was more attested to managing the money.
Okay.
Because as they say, man, we make drug dealer type of money.
I was just about to say that.
So when you start making, I mean, you know, obviously my two full-time jobs at the time, they was ranging between $60,000 and $70,000 a year. But I was working Metro. Originally, I was working both of those full-time, and I transitioned to working Metro part-time and then DPW. So it was kind of, you know, a half salary on one and half in the other. But when you start getting to a point where you halfway through your year and you didn't made as much money as you would have made on both jobs, but you also not paying taxes even, so now you got to figure out how to manage that. That was my challenge. Just like this is a little different right here. You know what I'm saying? My tax bracket different. I got to get a different tax preparer, CPA, and all these different things.
Can't use no TurboTax.
Not at all, man. So yeah, the money different, and I think after year one, I was able to kind of fully understand it, just because once you get into those different tax brackets, I started surrounding myself with people that was also making that type of money, that was able to advise me and put me in a position to introduce me to certain people to kind of manage that. But I think mine was more related to managing that type of money.
Yeah.
If anything,
what was that first purchase, man?
Oh man. Well, my first major purchase, I'll say, is my second house, because my second house that I purchased. Now, even though my first house majorly assisted it, but it also, just because of the type of money I was making, I was able to sustain a bigger home and made it more comfortable. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you got all this, I guess you say wealth now. So you didn't go ball out at first. You're like, let me buy another property. Let me be responsible, you know, let me invest and things like that.
My balling out was more about vacation. I mean, I've been
experience.
I go everywhere, take my kids, my family everywhere, just treat my wife great. But I think you know, that season gonna come when I turn it all the way up.
Okay, it's coming.
Yeah, for sure.
How about yourself, Rannard? Like, what was that rookie year like?
Like you said, the managing the money part, that was definitely a shock. It was actually an eye-opener, and it was a shock at the same time. So, the money starts coming, like you said, like you got to like, whoa. I mean, one deal is probably like 2 or 3 months of a regular salary when you think about the tax and all that stuff. So then I'm like, all right, I'm not about to be a realtor and not own a house. So then you got to figure that part out. And being 1099, that's a whole different story, because now you got to manage your money different, because naturally you're 1099, you want to write that off, and you want to make it seem like you made as little money as possible, so that you know you don't owe Uncle Sam. But that was part of it. But in the same breath, it also helped me realize that people who make more money actually keep more of their money. And once you learn that and you learn how to go about that, it was like, okay, we on to something. But the bigger thing was managing your time, because when you go into an office, typically they already kind of got a set schedule for you. They know you know what you want.
The work is carved out for you.
Yeah. And managing your money and managing your time, you got to do both on your own. And you got to basically treat this thing like you work for somebody else. So you got to hold yourself accountable. And that right there was a pivotal point right there, because it's like, man, literally I'm coaching. I'm trying to be a full-time dad, a husband, trying to make the house make sense. I'm trying to make sure there's balance. But at the same time, sometimes you get so focused on everything else going on around you, you could easily put work to the side. And you can make
money.
You can make $50,000 in 1 month, and then turn around, and the next month you been kind of focused on the wrong stuff. So the next month you ain't got nothing coming in. So it's like you done blew through part of that, and now it's like, whoa, I'm not putting that back as fast as I should have. And it's simply because I wasn't being disciplined. Not that I couldn't go out, get the client, get the deals done, but I wasn't managing my time properly. So that was something that was big for me. Right?
I call that when you're self-employed, it's one thing to render do the work, but it's like you got to constantly have things in your pipeline. You know, you constantly creating that wheel so that way, hey, you got deals in front of you, but you're always thinking, I got to have deals set up for next month and the month after too. Or in case this deal fall through, then this will keep afloat too. So that's like a balance in that in itself.
So finding balance is what I should have said. Finding balance across the board: money, time, energy, everything.
That's definitely a challenge.
It is. It's always a challenge. It's never. You kind of never really. Well, I would say, in my opinion, I haven't perfected it. You know, but it's just, like you said, trying to find some middle ground. You know, if that makes sense.
You're always going to be dealing with that, especially as you elevate, because you know, you start opening up multiple businesses, start transitioning. Your kids getting older, they're going to college, and you're doing different things. That balance is going, you know, it's forever changing. For sure.